Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be deep diving into the fashion industry. So I wanted to talk on this subject because I feel like it's not talked on as much. People love to buy from trends, and don't get me wrong, I do too, but I feel like not a lot of people are aware of where it's going or where it's coming from, and I feel like I want to make it more known on my platform so other people are aware of their spending habits and how they should minimize it and the impacts of what it gives. Hold on. What is fast fashion? Fast fashion is cheap and trendy clothing, and it always comes in and out of style. Like, we're all very familiar with Shein, H&M, Forever 21, those places where you're really thinking, oh, let me get a quick bang for my buck. Because of these brands, it releases a lot of pollution into the air, and a lot of sweatshop workers are used for this because of how much it needs to be produced for clothing. I'm trying to find it and I can't. What is it? Yeah! Yeah! Sorry. So the first part of where clothing is coming from that we don't really talk about as much as sweatshops. It kind of gets swept under the rug, which is not good. Countries like China and Bangladesh use this a lot. And they're able to do it because there's no labor laws. So it's really easy for companies that are America-based to set up their factories in China, and they're able to pay people for cheap. They're worked under such bad conditions. One clothing company that got a lot of backlash for this is Shein. I used to personally use Shein a lot. I am a victim. Don't get mad at me. But, I don't anymore just because of how much it impacts our environment. There was a report of Shein packages coming in with help me and text written on it from their sweatshop workers, which is really scary. The main reason why I stopped shopping is because I put myself in those people's situation, and I really thought, what's the best way to stop this? And it's stopping a company that doesn't properly treat their employees right. A lot of people have the mentality of what's my impact gonna do, and it takes one person, and if everybody had that mentality, we're not able to make a big impact. So if everybody had that mentality that their one person stopping buying fast fashion is gonna change something, then we're all able to end companies using sweatshop workers. They also use child labor, which is really sad because these children usually work their whole life and they don't have much of a childhood because the families are so poor that they have to have everybody in the family working just to live. So we kind of went over where our clothing comes from and how it's not ethically sourced, but another issue that we have is also where it's going. Most clothing does go to landfills. 2/3 of somebody's closet is going to end up in a landfill by the end of their lifetime. And you might think oh no, my closet's not, I donate clothing and everything, but it still ends up there after the next person. So by reducing clothing production, we do have less clothing going into those landfills. A lot of these clothing companies really use incineration, which is really bad for our ozone layer also. I know Burberry does it. They burned over 37 million pieces of their clothing that were unused, had misprints in production. Instead of donating it to people, they incinerated it, which is really, really bad for our environment. So not supporting those companies or finding alternative ways that these companies can get rid of their clothing would help our environment a lot. And don't be fooled, a lot of clothing companies do hide that they oh my god, my words, that they do oh my god, words are so hard right now. And don't be fooled, a lot of clothing companies do hide that they incinerate their clothing. Like H&M was caught doing it after putting up so many programs to help reuse clothing and repurpose it. They still incinerated over 90% of their clothing. So what can you guys do about it? My biggest way I recommend helping right now reduce fast fashion is donating clothing and also minimizing purchasing costs. During the 2000s, clothing companies would only come out with 1 or 2 clothing lines for the year for like winter and summer. And now they're coming out with new clothing lines every week because of how much we're spending clothing, how much money we're spending on clothing. So we really need to minimize how much we're spending so these companies can reduce their production. You can also donate clothes. It's so easy to. I never throw away my clothing unless there's holes in it. I always donate my clothing, which it feels good because I know it's going to a good cause. Me personally, I donate my clothing to an orphanage in Honduras that my family sponsors, but you can also do it at Salvation Army or Goodwill. Those are places that are close to home that people can buy at a cheaper cost, and this helps slow down the time that it does go into a landfill. So next time you buy your clothing, be a little bit more ethically conscious. Being ethically conscious is cool. I hated that I did that. So next time you go out shopping, just be a little bit more ethically conscious. Think about what you need and what you don't really need. Don't buy for trends. I know it's really easy to do that, especially because of TikTok. It's very influential to buy trends, but it's really not worth it, and it's gonna be in the trash about a year later, and it does more harm to our environment than it does good to your fashion taste. Anyways, guys, that is the end of my video today. Please go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!